Sunset bread. Doing your best by aligning feelings, pressure, and judgment. The little house on the prairie faced west, as if it had been built for sunsets alone. Its porch boards were sun-bleached, its roof tin-bright in the last light, and beyond it the grass rolled out forever, gold and quiet. Eliza stood at the railing with her hands folded tight, watching the day end like it had some place important to be. She was 27, and the number felt strange on her, like a dress that fit in the shoulders but pulled at the seams everywhere else. At her feet sat Cole, her best friend, a talking black cat with amber eyes and the calm confidence of someone who never paid for mistakes. He blinked up at her, slow and knowing. "You're doing it again," Cole said. Eliza didn't look down. "Watching the sunset?" "No," he replied. "Turning a sunset into a report card." Eliza exhaled through her nose, half a laugh, half a wince. Inside the house, her mother moved in the kitchen with a steady rhythm pan, spoon, wipe, hum. Thomas, her brother, leaned in the doorway with his sleeves rolled, pretending he wasn't listening to anything while hearing everything. May, her younger sister, sat on the floor braiding a rag doll's yarn hair as if the whole world depended on it, and Grandfather Elias rocked by the front window, his chair creaking like an old song. They all seemed rooted. Eliza felt like a fence post hammered in crooked and left to figure it out. "I'm trying," she said, mostly to the horizon. Cole's tail flicked once. "Trying like you're wrestling yourself. That's not the same as doing your best." Eliza finally looked down. "What's the difference?" Cole's voice softened, which always meant he was about to be annoying in a helpful way. "Doing your best feels like you and the day are on the same side. Trying feels like you're fighting your own feelings to prove you deserve tomorrow." The screen door creaked. Grandfather Elias stood there, leaning on the frame, eyes narrowed at the sky as if he could read it like a ledger. "Eliza," he said, "come sit a spell." She followed him inside and sat near the rocking chair, hands clasped too hard. Grandfather noticed, of course. "You're holding yourself like you've got a sack of grain on your back," he said, "but I don't see the sack." Eliza swallowed. "It's in my head. I keep thinking I should have more figured out." Grandfather rocked once, slow. "Should" is a heavy word. It makes a person walk like they're carrying blame. From the kitchen, her mother called without turning, "Eliza, will you bring the breadcloth?" Eliza stood grateful for something she could do with her hands. The dough sat in a bowl like a quiet promise, and her mother's palms were dusted with flour, calm as winter light. "You look tired," her mother said gently. "I'm fine," Eliza answered too quickly. Her mother raised an eyebrow. "Fine usually sounds softer than that." Eliza tried to smile. "I wake up and I think of everything I should do, and then I feel behind before I even stand up." Her mother pressed the dough, then paused. "You know what I do when a loaf doesn't rise?" she asked. "What?" Eliza said. "I don't scold it," her mother replied. "I warm the kitchen. Bread rises in warmth. So do people." That night, the family gathered on the porch for the sunset like it was church, and the sky was the hymn. May leaned against Eliza's shoulder, sleepy but stubborn about missing the colours. Thomas chewed a piece of straw like it was his job. Grandfather rocked inside, where he could still see the west window glowing. Cole sat beside Eliza and spoke low. Alignment isn't pretending you feel good. It's being honest about what you feel, then choosing the next thing that doesn't fight you. Eliza watched the sun sink. And if I feel low, then your best is lower steps, Cole said. Gentle steps. No self-whipping. 3 days later, a letter arrived from town. The mail rider handed it over, tipped his hat, and rode off, dust trailing behind him like a warning. Eliza saw the name on the front and felt pressure bloom in her ribs before she even opened it. Mrs. Calder from the dry goods store offered her steady workbooks, ledgers, a regular wage. It was the sort of thing people called smart. It was also the sort of thing Eliza had told herself she should want. May clapped. Eliza's going to be fancy. Thomas whistled softly. That's real money. Grandfather Elias studied Eliza's face. How does it feel? Eliza blinked. It feels like I'm being pushed into a box. Her voice came out small, which made her want to correct it, which made her feel worse. Cole hopped onto the table and tapped the letter with one paw. Pressure is not a compass, he said. It points nowhere good. Eliza's throat tightened. But what if I'm selfish? What if doing my best means taking it anyway? Her mother came close and rested a hand on Eliza's shoulder, flour still on her skin. Doing your best doesn't mean abandoning yourself, she said. It means working with your real strength, not fighting your own spirit. That afternoon, Eliza tried to outwork the feeling. She scrubbed floors until her wrists ached, hauled water twice when once would do, and mended shirts with a needle moving too fast to be steady. She told herself she was being useful, being good, being enough. By evening, she shoved a loaf into the oven like she could bake certainty into it. Then she forgot it, not because she didn't care, but because her mind was loud and crowded and mean. When she opened the oven, heat rushed out and the smell hit first sharp, scorched, final. The bread was burnt black on top, cracked like dried mud. A small thing, but Eliza's chest collapsed around it like it was proof of everything she feared. I can't even do bread, she whispered, harsh to herself. I can't do anything right. Cole appeared in the doorway, eyes steady. Listen, he said. Eliza snapped. To what? To the feeling, Cole replied. That drop in your stomach, that sting. That's not punishment. That's guidance telling you the thought you were thinking isn't true. Eliza's eyes filled fast, embarrassed by tears over bread. I don't want guidance, she muttered. I want to be better. Cole walked closer. Be better by being kinder. Right now, your best is not fixing the loaf. It's easing off the judgment. Her mother came in quietly, took one look at Eliza's face, and turned off the oven without a word. She didn't scold, didn't fix, just placed a warm hand on Eliza's back. Warmth, her mother whispered. remember? Grandfather Elias shuffled in, drawn by the silence more than the smell. He looked at the bread, then at Eliza. "This isn't about bread," he said. "It's about the story you told yourself when you saw it." Eliza's voice cracked. "I told myself I'm failing." Grandfather nodded. "And it felt awful because it's not the truth of you. Your feelings don't come to shame you. They come to steer you." Eliza pressed a hand to her chest and tried something she had never tried on purpose. She spoke softly, as if talking to May after a nightmare. "I'm doing the best I can today. Any 70s. I can take a smaller step. I can be gentle." The tightness didn't vanish, but it loosened like a rope finally given slack. Thomas appeared in the doorway and grinned. "We can scrape the top off. If it tastes like a boot, I'll blame the boot." May piped up, "I like butter," and everyone laughed, including Eliza. Later, under a sky crowded with stars, Eliza sat on the porch with Cole and the folded letter in her lap. The prairie was quiet in the way that made thoughts sound louder, so Cole spoke first. "Don't decide from fear," he said. "Fear makes every choice feel like a trap." Eliza stared into the dark. "So what do I do?" Cole's voice was gentle. "Find ease first. If you can't feel ease yet, your best is to wait and soften." The next morning, Eliza took her notebook under the cottonwood tree, Cole beside her like a quiet anchor. She wrote one question at the top of the page. What feels a little better than this? At first, her mind offered sharp answers. Then she let them pass, the way clouds pass, without chasing them. She wrote slowly, "I like helping Mama in the kitchen. I like the quiet of keeping a home running. I like numbers when they aren't a judgment. I like the idea of earning, but not the feeling of being trapped." Cole watched her hand move. "That's alignment," he said softly. "Not forcing a perfect answer, just moving toward a better feeling truth is less than #0. 9# is greater than." That evening, the sunset arrived again, faithful as breath. Eliza stood on the porch with her family, grandfather rocking, Mama leaning in the doorway, Thomas pretending not to care, May wrapped in a quilt, Cole pressed warm against Eliza's ankle. Eliza unfolded the letter and held it lightly this time, like paper instead of a verdict. She didn't feel ready to say yes. She didn't feel ready to say no. But she did feel something new. She felt permission. Permission to decide without punishment. Permission to be where she was. Permission to do her best the way bread rises slowly, warmly, in its own time. Cole's voice came quiet at her side. "That's it," he said. "Your best isn't bigger. It's kinder." Eliza watched the sun slip below the horizon and, for once, didn't turn the moment into a measurement. She simply let it be beautiful.